Welcome everyone. Thanks for watching here. We got Mark Flockhart. He's also an insurance agent for Valor Insurance Group in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And he's also running an insurance channel on YouTube with 1.28 K subscribers, if not more by now, by the time we're watching this. So Mark, welcome to the show. Grateful to have you here. And yeah, if you want to just do a quick little intro about who you are and kind of share, for my followers.
Yeah, absolutely. So long story short, basically started insurance career as a farmer's agent at actually technically a 21st century rep. So
Okay.
it was more call center, just taking in lead after lead after lead after lead. Pretty much kind of blew the natural fit. So that was just like we were selling left and right, high conversion rate, basically the top 5 sales rep 8 years in a row.
Wow.
So, and then the highest converter of the leads. So in general, that kind of became a natural fit. Spent 7 years there, left there, started at an independent agency, quickly realized that building my own is the only way to go. So it spent a couple of years there, I had a great time, got a lot of management experience and actually more ownership type of experience, ran a few departments and also lead aggregating departments. And long story short, partnered up with a friend, and we basically run a scratch agency. So we're independent, and we run it right out of Grand Rapids with a couple employees.
How many years ago did you launch the independent?
Less than a year ago.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Actually, so January of this year was the official launch, so to speak.
Wow. So how's it going? I know this is awesome too, because I get a lot of people reach out to me kind of in those early stages. How does that first 6 months, 1 year kind of look, and how's it been? What's it been like?
Yeah, it's been amazing. So I kind of already ran a department at the last place I was. So I really knew the hiring and firing and all of that process.
Sure.
Really implementing and get everything written down. So we try to track or at least jot down everything that we're doing so everybody knows like what our rules are.
Gotcha.
I'd say the only big struggle that we've had is speed, right? It takes time and we're all impatient, and I'm one of them. So,
Speed in what sense? Like quoting, like what is it?
Sales and getting everything off the ground. We kind of fell into doing like there's a lot of stuff to do.
Sure.
And you can get busy with the stuff. All of the, and I'm a tech guy. I have to have the nice phone. I have to have like the automation. And we tried probably 12 CRMs. We went through all like a ton of them, some of the higher paying ones. We didn't care. We just wanted the one that worked good. And so we were just a lot of that, and then lead purchasing and getting the right deals and getting the right fit. And just that takes a lot of time and some investment. So I think that slowed us down a little bit, but I think we're on a really good path now. We've kind of honed it back in and said, here's where we're going. Let's stick to the plan.
So what is it that you honed in on, if you don't mind sharing? Like, what is it is there like a certain formula process that's like you're kind of really rolling with?
Yeah, well, it's the way I think of it is everything has a foundation, right? If you have a script and all of a sudden you're not selling anymore, chances are you changed your script, right? Or the lead changed and you didn't adapt with it. So there's really only 2 ways to look at it. So if we aren't where we wanted to be, we had to take a step back and be like, wait a minute, where did we change the path, right?
Right.
Oh my gosh, we're in the lead game now versus building a book of business. So that was like kind of one of the things where we quickly realized, and that's one of the things that you got to do when you're new, is you really got to look back even monthly and say, am I on track? If not, what changed?
Totally. So you guys have been analyzing that kind of every month. You're doing a little review of like analytics numbers, or what are you guys looking at exactly?
Biggest thing is book growth and retention. So that's like the key words that everybody says, and I say it as much as everybody else, is income producing activities. When
Yep.
you're new, if you're not working on income producing activities, you're not growing.
For sure.
Doesn't
For
matter how
sure.
nice the little thing on my wall looks and how nice the poster looks, because I can't pay for it in 12 months because I didn't do income producing activities.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. What do you feel like are your highest income producing activities that have been working for you?
Strategy is a big thing. So if
Yeah.
you guys know, or as you know, I run the Think Insurance YouTube channel.
Right.
It just coincidentally hit 2 million views uh, all time. So pretty
Wow.
excited. That was about a week ago.
Dude, that's
Um,
insane. That's a lot of views.
yeah. So like that's kind of been my main thing as far as like what I'm good at. And always like I
Cool.
always like video and tech and all that. And so
Hmm.
like I've analyzed every algorithm and what to do and what not to do. And so we kind of took some of that and mixed with my partner. He's just got some really good like solid foundation, like, okay, you're going off in a rabbit hole, Mark.
Yeah. Yeah.
It picks me up, puts me back down. Right. And so like the sometimes the clash of that helps a lot. And so I think the biggest thing that we focused on is building agents. So we're
Okay.
trying to essentially, we may in the future have someone we pay, you know, a 20 or 30, 50, whatever the $1,000 salary at the time is,
Uh-huh.
where they don't own any of it. They just write for us. But in the meantime, what we're trying to build is as Valor is we're trying to
Hmm.
build an agency where we can show agents how to get out in the market, how to connect with mortgage brokers, how to work leads, how to
Right.
mix all of it together to
Hmm.
essentially create around them, not so much us. The company's still going to be it. We're building it around us as well, but so that we can help them grow and earn as much as they can possibly get.
With giving them some ownership in the agency, is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, so it's kind of like we've built different levels. So like
Hmm.
we have different options. So we have our 1099. So if somebody just wanted to be part of us, pretty much in the states that we're licensed in, most people can join, right?
Gotcha.
So that's just you want to be part of Valor. If you want to be an employee like your W-2, that's someone that wants to work with or for you. And what we want to do is what I've seen is most people that start as a W-2, and I was one of them, we
Hmm.
eventually want to be the 1099 person, right? But
Okay.
family and all that, I just can't afford necessarily to jump into the full deep end and start to swim.
Sure.
So having a path where someone can take me from a W-2, you're earning a salary and then you're getting bonuses, but you're really building your book.
Hmm.
And then long-term, 5, 6, 8, however long it takes to get, we're trying to implement a plan to where you can purchase that or take back over that and
Ah.
essentially have your own company from what you've built in the last 10 years.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah. No, I mean, you're actually really setting people up to have success for themselves later down the line too, not just build up your business and then give them a handshake and thank you. You know, I appreciate
Yep.
your work. That's awesome, man. That's cool. What's your like, Mark? What's your ultimate goal? Like, where would your dream vision like 5, 10 years down the line? Like, where would you love to be as far as you as running the agency?
Ultimate goal, as far as Valor goes, I would love, and I think we would love to have essentially
Hmm.
a very, obviously a large book. That's what everyone's going to say. We want the
Sure.
$50 million book plus, but also we want locations to
Okay.
where we know agents can come to and build what we just talked about. So we
Hmm.
can see the success of everybody. What I learned early on, if you look at companies like Herbalife, for example, one of the reasons they grew so fast and so big is because they didn't look at how much could they cut the price of the person. They were like, how do I pay that person more? And
Sure.
that's really the mentality that we're going in at it is like, okay, can we give more back to where we go on a vacation to Hawaii or whatever the case is, and everybody's having a good time because they're not worried about losing all their money back at home to where we
Hmm.
can all afford it. So really
For
kind of
sure.
that is essentially the long-term piece. Right now, the short term is more so like, okay, let's grow the book. Let's
Yeah.
get profitable. Let's get the renewals coming in so that we can market more. Really, our biggest thing right now is we're doing a lot of free marketing. We're doing local, connections with the community, and we're trying to grow that into paid marketing and leads and scalability, basically.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah, of course. What's been the most what's the most fun, best part about like this early stage of launching the agency for you?
I think part of it's being able to just do your own thing. I'm not gonna lie, that
Yeah,
is nice. Like if I need a couple hours off, I don't have to schedule a lunch or say, I'm clocking out at this time.
right.
And we do that with the employees too. So we let them, it's basically based on production, right? If you don't
Sure.
produce, then there's not much to work for.
Right.
So it's really focused on that, to where having that freedom, even early on. I mean, obviously we're putting in twice the work as a normal person would, because we love this growth,
Sure.
building it, but having that option, just knowing that it's there if something happens, that I can
Mhm.
step away and it's not going to
Yeah.
fall apart.
What about Mark? What would you say? I just like my 2 cents on that. Honestly, that is one of the best parts, but that it's a double-edged sword, So it's like, there's the beauty of it, but then also like the less that you're, if you do step away, that you're stepping away from your baby, and your baby's over here kind of hurting without you too. So it's like,
Yep.
there's two. It's honestly, it's amazing, but at the same time, like that's why I always like to say it to especially newer people like that are just thinking about starting their own agencies. I'm like, hey, just be ready, because like, yeah, it's great. Like you can
You
do whatever you
can
want.
do it.
You can do it, but then it's just like you're sacrificing a little bit. You're kind of taken away from it. Mark, what would you say is like the hardest part, like so far? Like I know you kind of mentioned some of the uh, processes, kind of getting the speed and whatnot. But what can you dive a little deeper? Kind of just like any other challenges or hard parts that have kind of you've run into?
Sure. Well, I mean, you have to get your appointments. That's all obviously a
Yeah.
tough part. So,
Yep.
like, where if I was an Allstate rep, I just have to get appointed in with Allstate
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
maybe another company, their side company. But with us, we have ever-changing companies. So, like,
Yep. Yep.
is Liberty or Progressive or Safeco or whoever else, like all these different companies, we have
Hmm.
to get approved and appointed with. And one of the things in Michigan is it's a little tougher because some of those appointments are paused. So
Yep.
being able,
Yep.
and you're brand new. So even though I've built relationships, and that did help me, is I had built relationships with them in the past,
Yeah.
they don't have control necessarily to say, yes, we'll let you in the door today, when their whole Michigan book is paused. So
Yeah.
it's really just getting the right fit and timing. I'd
Right.
say that's the biggest struggle that we have or
Yeah.
had.
I want to dive a little deeper into that, because like I think the question comes up so much about like that is for sure the biggest out of all the things of the structure and putting an agency together. I would argue that the appointment process is probably the most challenging hurdle that you have to overcome. And I'll just tell you quickly like what happened with me. I joined an alliance. So I don't know if are you guys part of an alliance at all?
We did. Yep.
Okay, cool. I think that's a good way to do it if you're looking to really get stuff rolling right away. So I think that's a good move. I joined an alliance, and then I uh, was really after kind of one or two major carriers in California, and it was a very similar situation, Mark. It was like they were paused. So I was
Yep.
like, dude, this is terrible, because like these are like the number one carriers, and I really, really wanted them. And I kept like kind of we were able to write policies through the alliance in the meantime. I don't know if that's kind of how you guys are doing it right now. Is that what
We got a lot of direct appointments even
okay.
through the alliance. I'm not. I was fortunate enough to where at the last place I had worked,
Hmm.
they kind of not dumped, but they assigned me extra tasks because I was completing them all.
Gotcha.
So one of my tasks was connecting with some of the
Hey,
appointment setters and whatnot. So
hey, that's
some
a
of
good
them
one.
already knew me, and it was like, okay, we already know where you've been. Other
Yeah.
ones are like, it doesn't matter where you've been. You've got this much of a book right now.
Yeah. No,
And
no,
you're
yeah.
in
Some of them
Michigan.
are
There's
pretty
no
kind of
go.
cut and dry. Like they just want to see the numbers, That's yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, so yeah, for me, Mark, I was writing through that alliance. I was kind of just trying to get just stuff on the board, because I intuitively knew, and then I've been told also like if you write business through them and just kind of get your name, even if it's through the alliance,
Yep.
just to establish some small relationship and book kind of with them already, it increases your odds and your chances of getting that appointment down the line if they do decide to open up. And like by some crazy luck, I don't know what it was, or possibly some relationships that were also in behind the scenes. I was able to get one of the probably the most difficult appointments to get in California, that a lot of agents like definitely wish they had. I don't know if I can name carriers. I'm just not going to do it just because. But yeah, anyways, that's helped me, tremendously kind of getting going. But yeah,
It is. It's a huge, it can be a make or break, because if you
for
can't get
sure.
appointed with at least some of the competitive ones in your state,
Yeah,
then you're out of business. You
right.
could, I mean, there is markets, you can still find that niche that they have somewhere in your state, but it's a lot more difficult if you can't.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, some of them are restrictive. So like right now, because we're new, we have to write 100,000 or
Hmm.
300,000 before they'll let us show up on our quote system. So
Yeah,
like our quote system shows us all the prices of everybody, but we know in the back of our head, we've got to type this one up by hand.
right, right.
So they're going to put some restrictions on the new person coming in the door, whether you've been doing it for the 10 years that I was doing it before or not. It's just
Hmm.
the fact that you don't have it shown currently in order to get those direct appointments.
Yeah. Mark, what would you say is like your guys' kind of go-to how are you guys selling policies? Is it like, are you guys getting policies from referrals? You guys are really working those cold leads, or what are you kind of doing? What's working best for you?
Yeah. So one of the things we committed to, and this is probably not the smartest move, but we committed to not going after our old book.
Sure,
A lot of us
fair enough.
had with the company we were before. We just didn't want to go down that road and deal with, the legal and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So we quite literally started from nothing.
yeah,
And if people came to us, that's great, but we didn't market it.
right.
So hindsight, I probably still do it the same, just because ethically it's the right way to go.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
it's like sometimes you do like, oh man, I could have another 500,000 sitting right here.
For sure. I mean, but at the end of the day, like I think even just kind of the hard work and challenge it in itself of you having to go from scratch again,
Yep,
is probably building more of the callus and like it's
it
gonna be
is.
long-term ROI positive for that, honestly,
Yes.
that route, even though it's like right now it's hurting you maybe a little bit. But
Yep. We
the
did. So
yeah.
where we get our business from, there's three main sources, and we started with leads. We knew leads because I know leads. My partner
Hmm.
knew leads. We basically had that already down. So we started working with different lead vendors and connecting with them.
Hmm.
We did get a little bit lucky because we got a pretty good price break on them.
Oh, cool.
So we've got them down to a little bit. And that's actually also kind of what sidetracked us, because we had other local people like, oh, how can I buy them that low? And
Hmm.
so we ended up like sidestepping and like saying, oh, well, we'll create a lead vendor on our side.
Oh,
We'll
nice.
start selling leads with it. And so we actually do have that. Like it's under a company called Finch, but it's like essentially we asked them and they said, we can pass our deal on to other agents. So we
Hmm.
basically spent some tech time in figuring out how to pass leads to everybody.
Hmm.
So that was like part of it. And we got a really good deal on that. So that helped us a lot as far as the cost acquisition.
Hmm.
The other part is being fairly decent. It sounds crazy. We're about a 5% close rate for the leads.
Hmm.
And we're averaging, because we do focus on the actual value of the customer, not the price. So we aren't price shopping people. We don't even, half the time we don't even know. We just like, okay, here's what you should have. Here's what it is. Here's based on everything we've talked about. Here's what you need. And we are averaging a higher policy per household. So we're getting roughly about 1.8 to 2 policies every single household that we sell. That's helped a lot, but also now
Gotcha.
we've focused on connecting with mortgage brokers. So we're on
Nice.
LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we're basically reaching out. And one of the things that we're doing today that we just started about a week ago is we're creating almost like I don't know if I still have it up, but we're creating kind of a plan here
Hmm.
that is social media based,
Okay.
to where we do one thing on Facebook, we do a different thing on Instagram, and then we do a different, like each one is set for different things to either connect with our local network or to try to just pull in different types of customers.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So you're really contextualizing the content per platform, kind of, is that what you're saying pretty much?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
because I know from experience that, and I'm not the Facebook guru. I've
Sure.
kind of shied away from it, but my personal opinion on Facebook is
Mhm.
it's networking.
Yeah.
It's almost like a LinkedIn, but it's for just everybody,
Right.
right? That's where we just need to get our name out there. We need to comment on things, be part of
Right.
things, have conversations with people as the company. And that also will create connections with mortgage brokers and realtors and all of that. Where
Right.
Instagram is not so much networking.
Sure.
It's kind of becoming another TikTok to where you're scrolling through videos, right? So
Yep.
the content there would be better suited for trying to get somebody to get a quote with us. Same
Right.
thing for YouTube. That's more so us trying, we're going to put our insurance 101, how to get car insurance in Michigan, how to like get the best deals. Here's some discounts in your area, different things that would connect customers to us. So there's
Mhm.
each platform has its like positivity of it. And we're just trying to utilize each of them to meet what the platform wants, but also what we're trying to do as well.
For sure. For sure. I want to dive a little deeper into that, Mark. How did you kind of, so you said 2 million views on like all your
Yeah.
total, wow, dude,
Yeah. 7 days ago.
dude, that's insane. Good for you, man. That's a lot of views. I know so maybe I said it wrong. Is it 1.2K or roughly 1.3K subscribers on your YouTube?
uh, I'm 7 short of 14,000.
Okay. Oh, 14,000 subscribers?
Yes.
Okay, someone must have given me a typo here because they put I got like a little like summary of like all your stuff and it said 1 point. So yeah, that's definitely off.
Well,
Um,
so actually, I'm sorry. So if we're talking business, so I just randomly put up videos under Mark W. Flockhart, and
okay.
it's more me mind dumping and giving my advice to people. So it's like, hey,
Um,
here's how you work leads, or hey, here's how I left farmers, or hey, here's like just my life type stuff that is around insurance.
gotcha.
That one does have 1.3
Oh,
thousand
gotcha.
subscribers.
Gotcha.
The Think Insurance has about 14,000.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, because I stumbled across you randomly. I was like, whatever, just searching insurance something on like on
Yep.
YouTube. I was at home. I must have been eating like dinner in my boxers or something. I don't know what I was doing. And I was, dude, and then I saw you and it was something you were reviewing. Oh, that's right. You were reviewing certain carriers.
Oh yeah.
Um, and at that point I was like, I think it was one of the carriers that we work with. And I remember being like, oh shit, I should probably watch this. Cause I know how often do you see people that review I mean, it just doesn't happen. It's good stuff. Like it was great content. How did you kind of, or what kind of got you going on the YouTube and like how did that develop to where it's at? Like just kind of bird's eye view. How did it all happen?
A lot of it was just a little bit of like interest and passion. And
Uh-huh.
I had always wanted to do some sort of a YouTube thing. This was probably 7, 8 years ago. I was originally recording myself, realizing that I'm definitely not an American Idol contestant singing those country songs or something. I don't know.
Yeah. You
And
were
I
singing,
was,
Mark? Were you
oh
singing?
yeah, yeah, just for fun. I was like, I thought I
Oh
was
my,
good to this song, and I kept playing it over and singing it. And I was like, I am not going to get better at this.
oh my gosh. Hey, you shot your shot, man. You know, you never know. You never know until you do it. So
Right. So it kind of grew into that. And then I just like doing the videos. And so I actually had, it was like 150,000 views like 7 years ago on
wow.
this how to advertise on Facebook for free. And it
Okay.
was kind of, honestly, it was kind of like I didn't know better. It was almost like a little bit of a slimy way to do it, but I
Hmm.
just thought it was part of the system. And so like you make a fake account, you friend all these people, and then
Hmm.
because you would get kicked
Hmm.
off after a while.
Gotcha.
So it was like after that, I was like, oh, I'm actually people are watching stuff like this. So then I got into like how to make money on AdSense, how to organize a website to get the most revenue from it. And
Hmm.
then it was like kind of all of that tech part that I was interested in. At the time, I had recently been in the insurance for a few years,
Hmm.
and everything I keep doing leads back to insurance. So I
Gotcha.
eventually, when I left farmers, I had made the conscious decision that I'm not going to build around a company anymore,
Hmm.
because I walked away from a 6-figure income to less than a 6-figure. So it's like, okay, I'm giving one thing up to regrow. But if I would have already built that around myself, I could have packaged that to where I didn't skip a beat. And so my goal was
Right.
initially, okay, if this doesn't work out, I at least had fun making videos. I teach people about insurance. they get the knowledge, and great, right? I do a couple of videos every couple months. And
Yeah.
that's what I started with. But then it started getting traction. I'm like, oh, there's actually a business here.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
make a video every week.
For
Oh, okay,
sure.
maybe I should make one twice a week. And it's really just finding what consumers are looking for.
Right.
It generates, I think it did 300 and something quotes last month.
Quotes for like
Yes,
insurance
fully
quotes.
filled out quotes. Yeah, people actually,
Dude, wow. That's
yeah.
legit. I think
And
I
that's
get
on a long-term form. So like it's a long tail form. So it's like
they're
they can
legit
choose a
quotes.
ton of stuff and fill out a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly don't think I get any. I mean, I get like here and there, I'll get like some type of I think we're approaching like 4,000 subscribers, which should be there pretty
Awesome.
soon, which
Congratulations.
isn't, it's not nothing crazy, um but yeah, we don't really, because my content, and honestly, Mark, I haven't like gone down the rabbit hole watching all your content, but
Yeah.
um ours is like more towards like insurance agents and trying to help insurance agents, which I think is also what you kind of are doing as well, but you're also doing the consumer side too. Is that right? Or like you're kind of
It's
doing both?
90% consumer.
Okay.
Coincidentally, a lot of new agents message me
Yeah,
because it's informational. So
for
they're
sure. For
learning
sure.
as much as the consumer is learning, which is even more powerful. But yeah,
Right. Right. Yeah. I get very little because mine's not consumer based, but
right.
hey man, that's awesome. I think that's legit that you really kind of found your little niche, and it's working for you. Um do you have any like goal with the channel? Like what are you trying to do anything specific with it, like long term, or?
Ultimately, I would like to create it to work, because Think Insurance and Valor are two
Mhm.
separate pieces.
Okay.
So Think Insurance is something I started years ago.
Hmm.
Um, I would like to eventually hire people to run it.
Yeah.
So eventually I'd like to get more of an expert and a writer and all of that to have where I'll kind of wing myself out of it to where someone else is running it.
Okay.
I've designed it. It's got its own corporation or LLC. It's got its own banking system. Like it's its own thing.
Right.
And I designed it for the end in mind, to where if I ever can't do this, or if I pass away or something happens,
Sure.
then my wife can sell it. Like she can basically take it
It's
and just
another
say, here's a company for sale.
it's another business. Yeah, for sure, man. No,
Yep.
it's true. I think if you just plug in someone that somebody's got to put out the content. I don't know. Are you putting other people on there as far as like the content?
Not yet. No.
Okay.
Nope. It's all just, honestly, I'm finding those top things that people are searching for
Yeah.
and just trying to answer them for them.
Do you know what Bigger Pockets is?
No.
Bigger Pockets, it's a YouTube channel. You should definitely look into it. It's for real estate. It's a real estate channel and a big podcast. I think it's the #1 real estate channel and
I
podcast.
might have used to listen to them, now that you
Yeah,
say that, years ago.
they do so much as far as like real estate content and answering a million different questions. And I think it started with one guy, I believe, who was like the main guy, which is this is why I brought it up, because like it kind of reminds me of what you're doing a little bit for insurance right now.
Yeah.
And he little by little started to bring in other kind of real estate experts. It's for sure the same kind of strategy that he had his own end. It's kind of like its own little business.
Yeah.
And now he brings in other people that are running portions of the channel, essentially. It's just content at that point. It's like, who can put out
Right.
good content? So just an idea, like that's something like you could surround yourself with one other agent, even me, maybe, you never know.
Yeah. Come on.
You, you get another
I got a lot of
agent.
California leads.
Right. No, for sure, man. I'll write them. We'll write them. I would love to. And yeah, you start kind of surrounding yourself with other like agents that can put out similar content, or even you kind of set up the type of content you want and have them speak on it or whatever. So then it's kind of, you're not even doing anything anymore at that point, but just an
Yeah,
idea.
that's kind of essentially the goal, is to get to that level.
Let me know, Mark. We could talk more about it if you're
Yeah.
interested. Hey, are you using TikTok by chance? Like, are you using like other platforms other than YouTube, or are you Instagram?
Starting to.
Okay.
Yep. I'm just starting to use TikTok. I know we've only got a few more years before that becomes more saturated, but honestly, we might, in insurance, we probably have a little bit more time, just because there's not enough of us doing it.
Probably. I just think it's a good little opportunity right now. That's why I mentioned it. I think there's a land grab for sure right now. So especially because
I've been leaning in there, and I actually have a little bit of a strategy plan already planned out for it, for Instagram and TikTok both, to have kind of the short videos on those.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just kind of comes down to what you're doing and bringing value to people and then packaging it up into a little short thing that's nowadays the younger generations, dude, their attention spans are getting
It's
shorter and,
short.
and
Yeah.
shorter. So if you can make everything, I know it's probably not, and I'm trying to figure that out myself right now. It's like all these videos, like how to start an insurance agency, how to grow your own insurance, tips, tricks for agents. I'm trying to
Yep.
make it into like a 1 minute video. Uh, dude, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. You got to just,
It is.
yeah.
I actually used to do it at a smaller
Mhm,
scale.
mhm.
When I first started, I knew that Facebook was different than YouTube.
Right.
And before I decided just to go all in on YouTube, I was recording a video and then stopping the video,
Mhm.
hitting record again, and making a 3-minute video. So I was just redoing the exact same video the second I stopped.
Oh,
Now everybody cuts them and chops them and puts them back together. But at the
right.
time I was like, okay, I'm just going to make a whole Facebook one right after I record a main one.
That's a good idea. That's also what we were kind of trying to do too. Just essentially, it's just double content you got to
Yeah.
make.
I mean,
But
it's a little extra work, but it's fresh in your mind. So if you can summarize it as quick as you can,
right.
you can edit it down to 30 seconds if possible.
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point.
Yeah. But you got to remember too, for you, um, TikTok is trying to do more than just 60-second videos.
Right.
If you notice, they're going to 3-minute videos now.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're eventually going to open up. I'll bet you anything that they're going to be 15-minute videos, because
Mm.
that's where YouTube started. And so YouTube, you could only upload 3-minute videos until you were a certain level. And now if you don't like tie your cell phone to it, you can't do more than a 15-minute video. So TikTok's trying to follow because of the marketing.
Yeah.
They're not getting the reach for the marketing departments because there's not enough connection with the brands there.
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
kind of a geek on that type of
No, no,
stuff.
no, totally, man. That's great little insight. It's great insight. I agree with you. We're kind of watching it unfold a little bit. And then also I've heard people are talking about how it's going to be a little bit more of a search engine as well. So
Yes.
like that's kind of what they're pushing, to try to make it like disrupt Google or like YouTube. I guess YouTube and Google as search engines maybe, but
Yeah, if they ever get a hold of what YouTube is doing, because there's the new features that they're testing right now, which is the products. I don't know if you've
mhm.
seen those or not.
Not really. What is it?
Okay, so like YouTube right now is testing a feature to where this shirt, just the
Yeah,
fact that I wore this shirt shows up underneath the video. This
that's
poster
insane.
board shows up underneath the video and you can buy it. And so every video, if I wear a hat, it just finds it for you and it puts it in the content underneath it. So if you like anything that a content creator is doing, I'm sure they can put their own brands and logos and merch in there too. But
Smart.
they're basically creating a buyer,
It's a marketplace.
making it easier for users to buy now.
Yeah, so it's a video slash marketplace. Dude, they're just tying in everything. It's genius, actually. It's genius.
Well,
And
I
it's
mean, that's the next TikTok. Instead of the follow button or the message button, it'll have a shop button. And you just click the shop and it shows you everything that you were wearing in that video, or the can of Coke that you had.
right, right. Let's see if they can find the watch, the shirt.
I'm just going to buy a bunch of Rolexes and just wear them all across my arms. Which one do you want? Here's my
Oh
coat.
man. Well, hey Mark, I know we don't have a ton of time. I want to be respectful of your time too. I like to just ask kind of like before we wrap it up, do you have any quick advice for anyone who's looking just to kind of get is just early starting their agency or looking to start their own agency? Any quick pieces of advice?
Plan it out. Don't, obviously you can overplan anything, but essentially have a strategy of what your plan is. If you don't know the type of agency you're going into, I don't recommend going on to like the major Facebook groups, because it's half the people are there just to kind of have fun and say why nothing will work.
And they're trolling you a little
Take
bit.
those with a grain of salt. Any like soup channels or insurance this or insurance that channels where we're all on there. What I do doesn't necessarily work for you or the next guy. And whatever your fit is, try to find some people that are in that industry and connect with them. Okay, essentially find a mentor, so to speak, that can help
Mhm.
you get through that path, because there is a lot of stuff, even me being in the industry for 12 years and going from where I left to where I'm at now, I probably lost 2 months from experience, from not having some of that experience, even though I thought I did. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of stuff just as you grow is essentially work with someone or get a mentor that can kind of show you that path.
Yeah. Yeah. I would definitely second that one, Mark. It's a good one for sure. I think I probably lost more than a couple months. I probably lost like, no joke. Like, I'm not saying this like as to be
Yeah.
funny, but no joke. I probably lost like 6 to 8 months of just me trying to figure stuff out. I was also like 21, just I was straight out of college, just trying to get things going. And
Yeah,
I,
and your buddies want to go to the pool, and
yeah,
you can now because you make your own hours. And
right,
oops, I was
exactly.
supposed to call that guy back,
Yeah,
but I was swimming
exactly.
instead.
Right, right. Well, hey, Mark, where can people find you on your social media just so we can chat you out and tag you?
Your audience, because I do some of that similar to what you're doing,
Uh-huh.
more of just kind of chit chatting. Well, yours is more direct, but mine's more chit chatting type of insurance stuff. It's
Okay,
Mark W. Flockhart. Just type in Mark Flockhart even on YouTube.
cool.
You'll see my channel there. It has usually my info in there.
Okay.
Consumer wise, it's just think insurance.
Okay. Awesome. Sounds good. Well, thanks, Mark. I appreciate it, man. It was great to get to know you a little bit. And hey, man, keep it up. I think you could probably hit the 5 and the 10 million not too long if you keep
Yeah,
doing what you're doing.
I
That's
appreciate it.
great. Well, thank you, Mark. I appreciate it, man. Have a
Thanks,
great rest
Chris.
of
We'll
your
talk
week.
to you later.
Keep crushing it, man. All right, we'll see you.
Have a good one.
Thank you. You too. All right, bye.